What's going on, everybody? It's Nick here, and this is your stimulus package stimulus check update video. Now, we've got exciting stimulus news to cover in today's video, but before we do that, I want to quickly invite you to hit that subscribe button below and turn the bell notification icon on so you don't miss any of my stimulus update videos. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into today's news. In his first press conference from the Oval Office, Biden signed 15 executive orders stacked up on his desk like that. And let's take a look.
And I thought with the state of the nation today, is no time to waste, get to work immediately. As we've indicated earlier, we're going to be signing a number of executive orders over the next several days of the week, and I'm going to start today.
One quick side note. One of the things that caught my attention in that clip of President Biden signing all of the executive orders was the bust, the head statue behind him on his credenza. I couldn't figure out who that was. I couldn't figure out who that head was, that bust. So if any of you know and can identify that person, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, moving on. Biden's executive orders included one executive order that related to stimulus, specifically the eviction moratorium. It extended the moratorium, the ban on evictions and foreclosures for Americans. Here is a clip of President Biden's press secretary, Jen Psaki, announcing the moratorium extension.
Central to our focus in the press office and in the White House every single day. So we had a very busy and active day today, as you all know, but I wanted to take a moment to go through the 15 executive actions, or highlights of them, I should say, and some of the steps that the president asked agencies to take today. He took immediate action to confront the crisis and asked relevant agencies to extend nationwide moratoriums on evictions and foreclosures.
Biden also extended the student loan forbearance period on interest and loan payments. Here is a clip of the press secretary mentioning that.
The pandemic has also increased the hardship on millions of Americans who owe federal student loans. In response, the president asked the Department of Education to extend the pause on student loan payments and interest.
Now, in the past, President Biden has said that he would forgive at least $10,000 in student loan debt as part of his stimulus, as part of his relief package that he is pushing. But President Biden did not do that today by executive order. Many argue that Biden can and should do that by executive order because it would not require Congress to appropriate any new money from the Treasury, and therefore it could be accomplished by an executive order simply instructing the Department of Education not to collect on those loans. So we'll have to see if that will be a forthcoming executive order from the Biden administration. Stay tuned. Now, also, if you watch this channel, you know that President Biden has promised to deliver $2,000 stimulus checks to Americans. You may recall that President Trump hinted last year that the president could actually send out stimulus checks by executive order by reappropriating funds set aside by the CARES Act that were not used, that were sitting in an account, could distribute those out as stimulus payments to Americans. Well, in case you were wondering, Biden did not attempt to do that on his first day in office. That would have been quite controversial to begin with, and I wouldn't hold my breath for him to do that at all at any point. That will require an appropriation of Congress, which traditionally and generally holds the purse strings of the government money. But that being said, Biden has said that pushing his $1.9 trillion stimulus package through Congress will be one of his top priorities during his first 100 days in office. When asked how involved Biden would be in stimulus negotiations that are taking place in Congress right now, here is what his press secretary, Jen Psaki, said.
Thank you. Karen.
Jen, has President Biden invited congressional leaders to sit down and talk about the relief measure that he introduced?
Well, he has been discussing the COVID relief measures, the entire package that has, as you know, unemployment insurance. It has relief and assistance for the American people. It also has money to reopen schools, which I know as a mother impacts all of us. But he has been discussing that with Democrats and Republicans since long before he was sworn in today. Today was a day where he had conversations about working together in terms of getting his team in place, on his agenda moving forward. But I expect he will be picking up the phone in the coming days and having more of those conversations. In terms of when he will meet in person, I will say soon, and we hope to have more of an update on that for you soon as well.
Do you expect him to play in those negotiations? There was a lot of comments today about his familiarity with the Senate. How involved will he be in that process?
He will be quite involved. The issue that he wakes up every day focused on is getting under control. The issue he goes to bed every night focused on is getting the pandemic under control. This package is a pivotal step to doing that, and it has assistance for the American people to make that bridge financially. It also has essential funding for vaccine distribution. He will be very involved. He will not be the only one. We have a whole team here of senior staff, of course, but as you noted, he is not a stranger to the Senate. He served there for 36 years. Many of these people, many of the members on both sides of the aisle he served with over that time, and I expect he will be quite involved in the process.
A reporter then pointed out during that press conference that some of the ranking Republicans, including Senator from South Carolina Lindsey Graham, have balked at the $1.9 trillion price tag as being way too high for another stimulus package, and asked Biden how he would respond to this criticism, this attack on his $1.9 trillion plan. Here is Jen Psaki, the press secretary's diplomatic response to that question.
On this relief package, Senator Romney was already saying to reporters today that he doesn't see a need for another virus relief package, and he's the kind of Republican vote you're likely going to be trying to get. So how long are you willing to try to work to get Republican support before you decide to go through the budget reconciliation process instead?
Well, as you know, because you all cover it, and as I've stated a couple times here today, we are in the middle of an urgent crisis in this country. It's not just impacting Democrats, it's impacting Republicans, it's impacting red states and blue states, and this plan is intended to address the suffering of the American people. So we hope, and frankly, we expect Republicans in Congress and Democrats too will support assistance that will bring relief to the people they represent. This is a conversation. He, of course, gave a primetime address, as you all know, last week. It seems like a long time ago, but it wasn't, to announce his specifics. And he has already had a number of conversations with Democrats and the Republicans. Those will continue. His clear preference is to move forward with a bipartisan bill. There's no question about it. But we are also not going to take any tools off the table for how the House and Senate can get this urgent package done. So we are only less than a day has he been president of the United States, but he is going to continue to work with members of both parties to get it done.
Well, I just want to pick up where she left off on that and note that Republicans, including Lindsey Graham, who's expected to be the Senate Budget Committee ranking member, have already said that the price tag on the president's proposal is too high for them. So is there any wiggle room on that number, and has he already begun negotiations with Mitch McConnell?
Well, first, the package wasn't designed with the number 1.9 trillion as a starting point. It was designed with the components that were necessary to give people the relief they needed. So what's challenging is, what are you going to cut? Are you going to cut funding for vaccinations? Are you going to cut funding for unemployment insurance? Are you going to cut funding for reopening schools? But it was laid out as his proposal based on recommendations from economists, recommendations from health experts, and as you've also seen, there have been also an outpouring of support from everyone from Bernie Sanders to the Chamber of Commerce for the package and the components in it. But this is a discussion, it's a conversation, and he is no stranger to the process of bill making. So we're at the beginning of the process, and as we continue, there'll be conversations with members of both parties of what will be in a final package. And rarely does it look exactly like the initial package that is proposed.
When asked why Biden did not mention Trump in his inauguration speech, Psaki said that Biden wanted to let the American people know that the relief package was his main focus, not Trump and the impeachment trial.
Janet, the president did not mention the word Trump in his inaugural address today. What was the intention behind not making any direct reference to his predecessor in that speech?
Well, I think the intention was to make the speech not about any individual, elected official, any current president, former president, but make it about the American people and the moment we're facing in history right now, the struggles that millions of Americans are facing who don't have jobs, the fear people have about the health of their grandparents and their cousins and their brothers, and to make it more about the strength of the American people when they come together, and not about any individual. But as you saw in his speech, it was forward-looking. It was not meant to look back on the past.
Well, that's all I've got for you today. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and turn the bell notification icon on and hit all notifications if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss any of my stimulus package, stimulus check update videos. And as always, thank you for watching.